I'm curious where you think President Trump lands in all of this because President Trump said that the Netflix deal could be a problem because of how much market share the streamer would end up with. Jared Kushner, the president's son in law, his firm Affinity Partners is backing the Paramount Skydance bid, and the Trump administration supported the Ellisons acquiring Paramount. So, is that a win in the Ellisons' book here?
No, I think that the most truthful thing that the president said this morning was that he would be involved in the process. I think we can definitely count on that. He wants to get involved in every big deal and every, especially something like media. So he will definitely be involved. I guess the real question is just how much he wants to put his finger on the scale. I think before, this past week, a lot of people would have said that he's firmly in the Ellison's camp. He's called Larry and David Ellison, great guys and friends. David Ellison said at a conference that he had a great relationship with the president. And I think the Ellisons have shown, the willingness to maybe get their hands dirty a little bit in the political process, whether it's, the $16 million lawsuit settlement against the 60 Minutes interview editing, whether it's the firing of Stephen Colbert, the hiring of Barry Weiss. I mean, I think directly or indirectly, they've shown their willingness to kind of placate the president to get what they want done. I mean, recently, they greenlit Rush Hour 4, which is a sequel that I'm not sure a lot of people in the industry were necessarily clamoring for, but with the thought that, that President Trump wanted that to happen. So and that's part of the reason why I wrote the story I wrote over the weekend. I really think that the Ellisons, when you combine their wealth and again their willingness to kind of play the political game, would have the upper hand in this process. However, I think it's interesting that Donald Trump didn't come out immediately on Truth Social with some posts saying, "I can't believe the Ellisons didn't win this." He kind of was quiet for a long time and then had some comments this morning. But in other reporting and other outlets, we know that Ted Sarandos has a relationship with Donald Trump, and he was in the Oval Office with the president last week, making his case for Netflix. President Trump said, there weren't any promises made, but I do think that they have a very, good relationship. And in this case, President Trump called him a great person this morning. So I think on both sides, he's found himself in a situation where maybe you have two sides that are willing to kiss up to the president and do things that they need to do to get his approval on the deal, which clearly seems like it's going to be an important part of this process.